all the time. This comes up for me specifically today. Thinking about 5.5 months ago, I had a heart transplant. I've been through very, very hard time. It's a very hard time physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's a very hard time. And it's impossible to take things for granted when you're going through something like that. It's very, very difficult. But then I started feeling better around the 5 month mark, maybe a little before that. I worked really hard and I did my rehab and I took all my pills on time and I meditated regularly and I did everything right. And I started to feel really, really good to a point where I was actually becoming concerned because I had to remind myself that there were certain restrictions I had to follow. And I was almost forgetting them because I was feeling so good. And then about 9, 10 days ago, I started getting hit with bouts of vertigo. Previous to the heart condition, I had been diagnosed with Meniere's disease, which is an affliction of the inner ear, and it does cause bouts of vertigo. But it's usually, maybe once or twice a year. Um, it's intense, but, you can get through it. Well, about 9 days ago, I started getting hit with these bouts of vertigo, and they've been getting more frequent and more intense. And it's been very difficult because all the progress that I've made, I backslid on a lot of it because I'm not able to work out as hard as I could. And last night, during my meditation last night, I only made it to 30 minutes and then I got very, very dizzy and I fell over and had to basically be carried back to the couch. Now, I'm not saying all this to say, oh, poor me, although, trust me, there's been plenty of, oh, poor me going on in me. Plenty of self-pity going on. But it struck me last night while I was in the middle of it that this is a gift from God. This is a gift from the universe. This is a lesson. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Trust me, if I could find customer service, I'd return this gift. But it is a gift. I have no doubt about that. I've been through so many things in my life already. I'm 61 years old and I've been through a lot of things. And one thing I've learned is that no matter what happens, no matter how bad it seems at the time, when you come through it, when you come through the other side, there's always this aha moment. There's always this moment that comes up to go, oh, thank God I went through that. Because now I understand this. This has deepened me. This has deepened my practice. This has deepened my understanding. This has deepened my heart, my compassion. So I don't know. I don't understand it. At this point, I feel like I've been pretty compassionate. I feel like what I went through with my heart made me pretty compassionate, and I really want to go back and teach the Dharma, and I want to go back and volunteer and help with other heart patients, and there's other things I would really like to do, and this is kind of keeping me from doing that. And every time I try and work through it and say, okay, well, you know what, I'm going to push through and I'm going to do it anyway, it seems like I get another attack. So it's almost as though the message that I'm getting is, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't push through this. Don't try to make this go away. Don't just ignore it. There is something here. There is some really important lesson for you to learn. And I accept that. I accept that. The hardest part of hard times is when you give yourself the false belief that they are forever, that they'll never change, it'll never get any better, this is the way it's going to be, this is the rest of my life. For the rest of my life, I will be having dizzy spells once or twice a day, and they're not just dizzy spells, it's vertigo, it's actually much more serious than a dizzy spell, but I mean, it's incapacitating. Um, but, and feeling like I'll never be able to do anything. And believe me, I've felt that. I have felt that. I still do feel it on a certain level. But I know deep, deep inside of me, when I sit, when I think, when I understand the Dharma, when I understand the incredible love and compassion that this universe is built upon, I know that that's not possible. I know that there is some loving, compassionate reason for all of this. I just don't know what it is yet. But just that helps me to get through it. And I say this and I share this because I'm no different than anyone else. We all have our burdens. We all have things that we're dealing with. We all have problems that come up that seem insurmountable at the time, that seem like, oh, things will never be the same. This will never be any better. I'll never get over this. I'll never, 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 on and on and on and on. And the fact is, you do. You do. You do and you will. So I wanted to share this with you because sometimes meditating is not about sitting down and because you're feeling all this bliss and all this wonder and all this, woohoo kind of stuff. Sometimes it's sitting down with really hard things, really difficult things, and trying to find the beauty where there doesn't seem to be any. And that, when you can see that beauty, that's the real beauty. That means you really learned something. So, okay, I accept this gift. Moffat.